What's up? This was totally spontaneous, like instantaneous. Things have changed in my life. I was planning on doing a live stream later today, like in an hour or two, or afternoon. But life changes everything. So my brother's coming over, and he wants to do some stuff, and I want to get some of this stuff done. So I have about a half an hour, maybe an hour before he gets here, and I want to get some of this built. But I have been watching their video even more. Oh my God, this is probably the 100th time I've watched their video. And I'm looking at some of their stuff, and I've been literally writing a reference manual. I wouldn't really call it a manual, but I've been writing a reference manual, reference sheets, I guess you'd call it, for building this thing. And as I watch their videos, there's a lot of stuff I see. I should say a lot. There's a few steps I see that they do later with the Z gantry that make very little sense. They have you assemble something, move on to do something completely different, then come back to that assembly, take that assembly apart to attach another piece, to reassemble it, to attach another piece. And like they have you build and lock the whole Z gantry to the X gantry, and then they have you loosen it after you get it all square and slide it around to make another part fit. I don't know. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. What's up, Vince? What's up, Gary? So I've been rewriting it. And I have their video, and I pretty much have it memorized up to a point. Again, they have you like build the X and Y gantry trucks. That's what I have here. These things. But they have you like build one and then attach scrap to it, and then build another one and attach scrap to it, build another one and attach scrap to it, build another one and attach scrap to it. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Just build all four of them. They're basically the same. There is a very slight difference. These two right here, the blocks, these little push blocks, the nut blocks, are on the flush side. In other words, the screw heads are here, and the the nuts are in the nuts and excess bolt stick out the back, where this one's just the opposite. This one, the push blocks are on the side with the excess nuts. It's a minor thing. And then there's one that has no push block at all on it, because this is just the upper. These two actually go together like so in the long run. Except for this goes this way, and this goes this way. And that's about it. So, but there's another thing I've noticed. They have you attach this to it. This is your ZC beam. And then slide the Z truck onto it. Adjust all your eccentrics and let it sit. And they have you flush this, which you guys can't really see unless I move the camera. There we go. You don't need to see me. This is more important. They have you flush it just like this. Well, bolt it all up real tight. But then later on, you have to put the bottom cap on this with the push pin or the push block and all of that for the lead screw. And you end up having to undo it all and shift it up. It just makes absolutely no sense to me. It's like, why don't I take this right now before I do a damn thing, mount that end block on there, and be done with it? That's all you got to do. Just mount the end block on now, which is what I'm going to do. They are all pre-threaded. That's really nice. You don't have to thread anything. So, yeah, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Some of their orders of operation. Now, their videos are so ridiculously detailed. Even if if you do it in their order, you're not going to do anything wrong. I mean, It's not a bad thing to do what they say. It makes less sense to why take it apart. Because then they also have you build the Z gantry, which we're going to do in a minute. Put the wheels on it, slide it onto this, adjust your eccentrics, then like go build the main frame, then come back to that, slide it off, just to mount the actual spindle mount for the router, and then slide it back on and have to readjust everything again. Again, why? Why do I not just attach that spindle mount while I'm building it? Which is what we're going to do. So, I'm reordering the order of operations. You know me, I can't leave anything alone. So that's what we're going to do today. Is build the Z plate, wherever it is, right here. And I think I got everything else over here. And mount it up. So here's what's going to be the Z plate. It's the last one of these extra large plates, they call them. And hopefully this is picking it up on this camera, which I'm going to use later to edit and make an actual assembly video that's just an assembly video. What's up, you? And go from there. So I have rewritten it. And now I got to find where I rewrote it. Z Gantry Assembly. Look, Z Gantry Assembly. Now again, I have changed this from their video. And it's basically a timeline change. I'm doing the same thing. I'm just doing it in different orders because anything that touches this plate, I'm going to attach now. I'm not going to come back to this plate and adjust it and slide it onto things and then take it back off. And I'm just going to attach everything now and get it done. We have to put the push block on here. There's a anti-backlash push block that goes on this one. The wheels, you get 6 wheels instead of 8 or 4, depending on how you look at it. They're going down the full side. There's no other plate on it. It's a single plate with this 3 wheels on each side, 6 wheels. So it's actually, if you look, they have their name here and the version of the plate here, which is nice. That's like wicked nice because if they change anything, you know what version you have. I got to hold it up to this camera. Yeah, build version name. But you're going to, instead of having it down like we have with all the rest of them, we're actually going to have it up and on the right side. So that means all your eccentric nuts are on the right side and all your standard spacers are on the left side. Get it? Now, when you flip it over, it's going to be just the opposite. What's up, Michael Cassell? Lava assembly. That was good, dude. That was funny. I got a kick out of that. So, I need screws and parts and stuff. So, I need the anti-backlash nut, which is over here. Let's bring this whole box over here. Not those motors. And some kind of electronic cover. We're going to need this, which is the router mount. And somewhere in here is that anti-backlash nut. More plates, more plates, more plates. No, it's here because I seen it. Actually, I think it's in one of the containers, ain't it? If I remember correctly. I put it in one of these containers with other stuff, which I think is this one right here. And we will need those, hopefully. And here it is, anti-backlash nut. So, this does need to be in a certain orientation. And again, if you're looking at this, you're going to have the name coming up the right side, facing you. It's on my left side now while it's facing you, but if it's facing you, it's on the right side. And you're going to want to install this with the arm up. And basically that's because when you install this whole thing, you're going to want to be able to get down behind here with a, tool, a socket to adjust it. So the first thing you got to do is just thread this little grub screw in here. That's too big. So it's only a 2.5. And you don't need to adjust it now. The thing's brand new. They make that very clear. What's up, Red Light? From the crane. Cool. They just want you to get it touching for now. You don't have to expand it. The unit's brand new. They say, after a few months of use, you might want to tighten it up where it is the only one. Put the little lock nut on there. Suck it down. Just snug it so the grub screw doesn't move. And I don't know what I do with their little tool, but I have my little adjustable right here. And just give it a little snug. Doesn't have to be super tight. And that's that. So next, you have the actual unit, and I believe I need 20 millimeter. Yep. So I need some 20 millimeter screws, which are all right here. Where are the 20s? A buttload of 8s. Here's some 20s. And I just need 2. I think I also need some spacers and stuff, don't I? Now, you want to set it in on the bottom. Again, this is coming up the side, the labels. What's up, Danny boy? Again, not that you guys can really see it, but the label is coming up the right side, which means your 3 eccentric holes are also on the right side. You want to put them in the 2 bottom holes in this center pocket. Flip it over. And then Anti-Backlash Assembly, 2 bottom holes center on the backside stack, 3 millimeter spacer, a shim, and then the block. So now I got to find all the spacers again. Whatever I did with them. Right here. That's why I like these stupid little containers. Here's my last 2 3 millimeter spacers that I was freaking out about yesterday, or the day before yesterday, because they said you needed them elsewhere when you had already used them. 3 millimeter spacers, something else. I need the precision shims, which are in here somewhere too, I think. Or maybe not. What did I do with the shims? I don't think I put them back in there. I think I put them in one of these other ones like a dumbass. Not that one. If it's in this one, I got all the tools and everything on here. And that's where they are. The little precision shims. It does say 3 millimeter, right? 3 millimeter spacers, yep. Which makes sense because all of those blocks are spaced off by 3 millimeter spacers. Again, I don't know why they don't just use a 4 millimeter spacer instead of a 3 millimeter and a shim, but whatever. It is what it is. Probably because that's what they have pre-manufactured. Then you drop the block on there, making sure the hexes are up, making sure it's pointing up, and drop the nuts in. Now, these particular nuts came with the blocks. Hold it all together and screw it down. And this one, they say you can tighten right up because it won't get adjusted like the other ones. But you do want to make sure it's square, which that is not. see if I can use a square on it. I don't think I can the way it's set. Oh, yeah, sure I can. There's enough face there. Oh, that's pretty good. That's damn good, actually. Not probably the most precise square I have, but they're usually pretty good. And it is plastic. And you can adjust it if you have to. It might be a pain, but you can. Garbage, more garbage bags. You guys see my picture of my floor full of garbage the other day? Here's another one. I'm actually saving all those stupid bags. I don't know why. So next is attaching wheels. So I need wheels and wheel assembly stuff, which is all this stuff right here. And as you can see, if you flip it from the front, I can't iterate this enough. They make this very clear. It needs to be that way. The labels are going up. The eccentrics holes, they're a larger hole than the regular holes, are going up the right-hand side with the arm for the push block, which, oh, that camera's not really showing it, but there you go. The arm is up. So you can come from the top and adjust the thing. All right, that's done. Next, attaching wheels, 6 total, 3 left, 3 right. Stack assembly, 27 millimeter screws. So I need 27 millimeter screws. What do I do with the 27 millimeter screws? What do I do with all the screws? I thought they were right here. Didn't I have them right here? There they are. They were right here. 27 millimeter screws. Those are self-tapping. Those are 10. 27. They do have these things really well labeled and organized and all of that. Hopefully there's 6 of them there because that's what I need. And you just drop them in there. And as you can see, they go into 3 outer holes on either side. I don't know if you can see that or not. Sort of. In the line. Flip it over, which I'm probably going to lose a couple, but maybe not. And then the eccentrics are now on the left because it's upside down. You need a 6 millimeter spacer. I have 3 regular ones are now on the right because it's upside down instead of the left. Let's make sure I'm doing the stack order right. Stack assembly, 27 millimeter screws, 6 millimeter spacers, 3 left will be eccentrics. Again, it's left because it's upside down. It's right when you're facing the unit. A shim, a wheel, a black nut. So we need the little precision shims again. I guess I'm out of. That's the last 3. I thought there was other places we need them, but I guess not. Those go on here. And I need the eccentrics, which go on here. You have to make sure when you line up the eccentric, the little shoe goes down into the plate and locks in. Not that way, this way. And then the shim's on top of the eccentrics also. Hey, no, don't lose that. And these all go away. We're ripping through the bags. And then the wheels. And I'm probably going to have to line them up. Got to line up that little shim on the inside. I think they gave me an extra wheel. I think I have one left over, don't I? Oh, maybe not. Those all drop on, and then I believe you just use the nut. I always thought there should be a shim between the nut and the bearing, but I guess the nut is in contact with the inner race only. Yeah, it does. So one thing, if you'll notice, I push on the wheel, just push it sideways. So when I start spinning the nut on, it'll, actually thread on and not just spin the screw. Until it hits the nylon lock, at least. But that at least gets it on there. And then come on, what's your issue? Make sure you don't cross-thread them. What's up, Viking and Victor and Sergio? How is life, guys? And then we will take this, even though I like this better for this particular area. It's basically just your 3mm ball, but it's not a ball one. And their little tool, which is freaking awesome. And then tighten those down. And again, we want to make sure everything's snug as a bug in a rug. As snug as a bug in Sergio's rug. You got a rug, Sergio? That was a joke. What are you thanking Sergio for now? That printer that he sent you like a week ago? Yeah. The other thing you want to do right now, before I finish tightening these up, is again, these eccentrics have a little, will that focus on it? Sort of. See it where it says 6mm? It focused there for a second. Hold it to this camera. I don't know if it'll focus on that camera or not, but it's a 6mm. You want those pointing out because that means the hole is wide open. The bearing is wide open. Okay, where's this one? So if you have those out, and I really like these eccentrics. These are probably the nicest eccentric nuts I've ever seen. They're really well machined. I like that they stamp the label on there to make it so you can tell where open is. That is freaking awesome. And then tighten everything up. Make sure everything is good and tight. And the wheels all spin. Come on, broken fingers, work. They don't want to work. That one was fighting me, but sure. Okay. Somehow or another, I just changed that. The only thing I don't like about this thing sometimes is your palm will catch the ratchet changer, and all of a sudden you're going the opposite direction of what you thought. Okay, those are all on. Next thing. Now again, later on, now they want you to just mount this thing now on the C-beam. Makes no sense. I am going to do things different. I am going to mount this here puppy, which is the router mount. which they tell you to screw this together, but I don't have screws for it. I think this other bag is the screws. I think they fell out. Yep. I have a feeling that's what those are. And then this just gets screwed to that. Make all the little baggies go away. Baggy hell. Spindle Mount 2Z. I will need some 12mm screws, some 8mm screws, and a couple black angle brackets. So let's get the pile of screws out. Again, they have you do this like later, which makes no sense. Why am I not doing it right now while I've got this unit sitting here in front of me? I don't know. I'm going to do it now. So it's, I say I need 4 8mm, which are these puppies right here. One, two, three, 4. I'm assuming those are for the black brackets. And then it wants 4 12mm. Self-tapping, 20s, 12. I think that's all that's in there is for, yep. And then 2 of these things. Which these are really nice. I wish they'd use these all the way through the thing instead of the cast ones. These are really nice. I actually have some of these. The only problem I have with the ones I had is the screw would pop right through, but not on these. Those are nice. All right. So basically with this thing, you want it on this face where all the screw heads are, but you want it lined up underneath this bracket, the push block right here. And there's 4 screw holes you're going to use. And you basically have to hold it there and kind of line them up. And I don't think there's a top or a bottom. Nope, there isn't. So you take the 12mm. And you basically just find the hole. And I think I'm going to find which ones are there going to be. Well, that's why they say you got to kind of look and line them up and find out which 4. And of course, I can't see. All right, so it's going to be this one, this one, this one, and this one, which I'm actually going to take a permanent marker and mark because I'm old and blind and forgetful. And then you can actually see it too. See the 4 holes I circled? Those are your 4 holes. If you look at that plate that this is going to mount to. So now I can take these 2 and I can pre-mount and then slip the other 2 in after. By believage. I'm going to use this just because of convenience. And if you know anything about assembly systems, you know not to tighten those 2 up until all 4 are in. You just snug them, but make it so you, whoop, magnetic bit. It'll line up better. It's easier to line everything up if you wait, basically. So there's that. I want to make sure that's somewhat square. I can't imagine it's not, but that is dead on square. So tighten it up. Where's Chris Work-Hockey so he can yell at me for not using a machine this square? Because a big old aluminum bracket isn't going to stay square. She has arrived. Who has arrived? Witch Hazel? And then it says OpenBuilds on the front, which I'm not going to bother putting that on now because it's just going to get in the way. Okay, but then these just get screwed to the bottom here. And there's a threaded slot here, and a threaded hole here, and a threaded slot here, and a threaded hole here. And it basically lines up with this arm right here coming out. So I can drop it in there. and hopefully screw it to it. Why isn't it screwing it with the 8mm screws? There it goes. And again, I don't actually tighten anything until all screws are in place. Make sure everything slides in and lines up. And everything works. Everything looks good. Tighten these up to that. Tighten these down to this. And there we go. Now again, they have you do this. They literally have you mount this whole plate and then take it off to attach this. Why? Now it's attached. I don't have to take it off later. Go around, make everything sure everything's snug as a bug, and Dan's rug. Since Dan was the first one I saw the thing there. These are all tight. And there we go. That's our Z gantry. Actually holds the spindle. Goes up and down by the lead screw. So the next thing they want you to do is take your two Z blocks, X blocks, which are these two right here, and put them together. Now this is kind of a weirdo thing. I gotta remember how it goes. Now these are different. Again, I was explaining this earlier. Than the X ones, or Y ones, excuse me. These are your Y ones, and the only difference is the Y has the screw coming out. The screw head is on the same side as the push block, with the excess screw and bolt on the opposite plate, where the X gantry ones that are going to get attached, the push block here is on the same side as the excess screw and nut. And then the top one right here has no push block on it at all. And what we're going to do is put them with the screws down, I believe. What are these two screws for? Oh, I think these are to hold this. You know what? I am going to put that on there right now because I'm pretty sure that's what they're for. I'm not 100% positive, but I'm pretty sure these just go right here. I'm just going to loosely put them in there. For one, I won't lose the screws. If they go somewhere else, I'll know where they are. They weren't marked. So I have a feeling they just fell out of this baggie when I opened it. All right, we're going to take this. I think somebody's here, so we might be done already. Oh, crap. I can't walk. I'm old. Nope, no car. All right, back to this. And this I might actually want to load up the video again for, even though I'm doing it out of order. Z Gantry Assembly. 8 plates, Anti-Backlash Nuts, C-beam end mount, gantry plate, backlash, precision shims, wheels, C-beam end mount. I put that in the wrong spot. I wanted it right here. And now I'm confusing everyone because I'm confused. I know what I'm doing, but I want to make sure I'm doing it. So the manual works. All right, this is going to go on top of this, like so. You want to make sure let's see. It doesn't make any sense. The eccentrics are going to be down. The eccentrics are going to be down. But if I do that and these eccentrics are down, when I go to adjust it, I'm not going to be able to get to these. That don't make any sense. What is up, Jesse? I'm pretty sure they want the eccentrics down in that. Now I'm going to have to watch the stupid video again for the 1 billionth time. Here, I can share the screen. Share screen. Share screen. Yeah, I can share the application window. OpenBuilds. Share. That'll be perfect. Yeah, gotta love it. All right, I gotta go up here to transmission Z assembly. Nope. So this is what I'm talking about. If you look, they have you build all this Y, X, X, Anti-Backlash Nut, build your Z and attach it to the X carriage. Then they have you come back after 3 more steps working on a frame, which has nothing to do with this. Come back, take it all apart to put that router spindle on, and then assemble the Z axis gantry, which makes no sense. So I'm going back to here and mating Z and X assembly.
The assembly our Z axis to our X carriage. We're also going to be attaching our Z axis.
Oh, I got to go back even farther because I'm doing this right here that's not showing. So I'm going to go back even farther. Anti-Backlash Nut. Actually, I think I'm going here. Yep, that's what I'm doing. Is this what this is? The 250 millimeters? That's 330. I don't think I have a 250. Oh, yeah, I do. It's right here. Good thing I watched that. I need this one. I would have caught it because I know it's got to be exactly the same size as these. I hope I don't get screwed for replaying their video. I wonder if I'm going to get banned for replaying their video. Yeah, the brackets are pretty sweet. This whole thing is really well designed in general.
So one thing to pay attention to in this assembly is the way that this configuration is going to be laid out. So here I have both X carriage assemblies, but one of them, the one underneath specifically, is going to have a transmission component. So you'll see that the nut blocks are assembled to this gantry. If you visualize the way that this is going to look on the machine, this is actually the back of the X carriage assembly. So you'll see the slot washers visible as well.
So I got the wrong one of these.
So this is going to stabilize this X carriage and essentially join these plates and make it one strong, sturdy configuration. So what we need to do is add these components here to these 2 X carriage plates. Now once again, we want
my brother's here.
Sure
I hear the door opening.
X carriage is the one with the transmission component. And that's the way that it's laid out on the machine. What we're going to do is take the 250 millimeter 20 by 80 slot rail.
Something don't seem right.
And I'm going to
All right, I'm going to have to go because it's time to go. So I'm going to end this and I'll talk to you guys later.